In the beginning, we saw several students arriving for lessons at Nancy Reagan High School. Among those students is Wednesday, who finds her little brother Pugsley is a victim of bullying. The bullies tied him to her locker and placed an apple in his mouth. She sees what the bullies have done as she unties him from the chains and leaves to deal with them. Wednesday discovers them in the school pool and releases 2 bags of red-bellied piranhas into it. The piranhas attack the bullies, and she watches in utter interest and delight. The scene got changed and we see Wednesday being transported to Nevermore by her parents, and she appears to be upset about it, but her parents claim that it will be the best school for her and she will definitely like it. Wednesday believes they are taking her there to fulfill a legacy they left at the institution. Her mother, Morticia, explains that they are taking her to the new school because her peers will appreciate her. They soon arrive in Nevermore and the principal, Larissa, welcomes them. She turns out to be Morticia's former roommate. She is sufficiently impressed by Wednesday's flawless grades and her family's long history with the institution to set an expectation and accept her in the midst of the semester. Morticia is worried about Wednesday's mental health and informs the principal that the court has ordered Wednesday to undergo counseling. Larissa said they have a professional counselor and she can meet Wednesday twice a week. The principal assigns Wednesday to Ophelia Hall, her mother's old dorm, and takes them to meet Wednesday's new roommate. Enid Sinclair is a lively girl who is looking forward to meeting her new roommate and showing her around the school. Wednesday is uninterested in learning anything about the institution because she does not intend to remain long in the institution. Enid still shows Wednesday around and informs her about the school's 4 social cliques, which are Fangs, Furs, Stones, and Scales. The family bids Wednesday farewell and Morticia warns her about escaping the school. Wednesday believes her mother underestimates her and swears to leave the educational penitentiary where she has been sent. She leaves her a small parting gift, an obsidian pendant, and a crystal ball to contact her on. Her father also leaves her a chunk of a hand to covertly watch over her. The sheriff and another cop discover human remains in the woods near Nevermore. There had been 2 more similar incidents a week previously. The sheriff would like to issue a warning to keep hikers out of the woods and blame it on the bears. He knows the hikers were not attacked by a bear and believes the deaths are linked to Nevermore. He currently lacks evidence, therefore he will stick to the bear assault story for the time being. Later that day, Wednesday discovers the present her father had left for her. She decides to turn Thing into her devoted assistant, and her first priority is to flee the institution. Larissa, the principal, drives her to her therapist appointment because she wants to keep an eye on her. Wednesday requests to use the restroom in the middle of the appointment. She slips through the restroom window and walks across the street to the nearest cafe for information on how to leave town. She runs into a man on the street and has a vision of his death. She concludes he isn't worth saving because he is disrespectful to her. She meets Tyler in the cafe and strikes a bargain with him. He will call a taxi for her while she fixes his coffee machine. Tyler offers to drive her, but she must wait 1 hour. While she is waiting, 3 boys enter the cafe and begin pestering her. She fights back, and soon after, the sheriff arrives at the cafe, surprised to see that she fought off 3 boys. He asks his son Tyler if he assisted her, but he declines. The principal immediately arrives and hurriedly scoops Wednesday up. The sheriff is not delighted to hear that she is the daughter of Gomez Adams and tells her that her dad is a murderer. Enid and Wednesday become close at school, and she begs Enid for a favor to use her computer. She messaged Tyler to call. She enlists Tyler's assistance in escaping during the harvest celebration. It is difficult to lose Principal Larissa, who is constantly watching her. Tyler arrives at the festival on time and delivers the police report on her father. As she and Tyler attempt to escape, the 3 boys she beat in the cafe approach them. They want to settle the score and have a rematch. Tyler believes it is better if they are lost in the crowd. They begin to flee, but she runs into Rowan and gets another vision of him in danger. She tries to save him, but he tries to kill her because of an image and a prophecy his mother had 25 years earlier. Just then a creature appears and saves her by killing Rowan. When her parents call at the end of the day, she reluctantly admits she enjoys being at school. Later, sheriff and other police officers look for Rowan's body but were unable to find it. The sheriff does not trust Wednesday's statement of a monster attacking Rowan and believes it was a Nevermore student. The principal wishes that the sheriff would leave after taking Wednesday's statement, but Wednesday requests to speak with him alone. The principal eventually agrees to let them speak privately on the condition that anything Wednesday says is kept confidential. Wednesday informs the sheriff that she believes someone is attempting to cover up Rowan's death. An officer breaks their chat and opens the door, allowing Rowan to enter the room. Upon seeing Rowan alive, both of them were surprised. Wednesday informs Enid that she decided to stay to beat Rowan at his own game once she returns to school. She inquires with Enid about what Rowan is saying about the problem, but she knows nothing and advises she inquire with Rowan's roommate, Xavier. She attempts to speak with Rowan, but the principal informs her that he has been expelled for reasons she cannot disclose. Wednesday urges the principal to keep an eye on Rowan. She then encounters Bianca, the person she first saw in the woods during the attack. She inquires as to what happened after she passed out in the woods, but she doesn't reveal anything. Later, she runs into Xavier and inquires about his roommate Rowan. Rowan has been on edge for a few weeks, according to Xavier. He also tells her to stay away from Tyler. Later, she attempts to speak with Rowan before he departs and inquires about the drawing he made of her during the attack. He claims he has no recollection of anything. Rowan goes to the restroom at the station, and his appearance transforms from a student to an old man. Wednesday and Bianca have a knowledge duel during the carnivorous plant lesson, and a few buttons are pushed. On the other hand, Tyler and his dad are falling further apart. He believes Tyler is gossiping about him to his therapist and wants to know what they talk about in their meetings. Tyler tells him that they talked about his mother and that he will not be home for supper. Wednesday later asks Enid to be on guard so she can return to the woods. Enid recommends that she apologizes for snapping at him and she might consider aiding her. Wednesday is aided in the woods by Tyler, who is stalking his father. She informs Tyler that she is returning to the woods to gather evidence that Rowan is dead and that she is not insane. She's also curious as to why the monster spared her from Rowan. She discovers Rowan's glasses in the woods and snatches them up. She then experiences a vision. She sees what happened the day the gargoyle almost killed her in her vision. Rowan is revealed to be the perpetrator of the attack, and the book Rowan has those Limeades, an old student club. The student society has long since been defunct. Ms. Thornhill informs Wednesday that she was impressed by Wednesday during the carnivorous class. She also confides on Wednesday that she is also hard to fit in at school as a typical instructor. Wednesday also informs her that she enjoys being despised by people. Later, Wednesday sneaks into Xavier and Rowan's room to seek the book. She finds a mask, but Xavier comes to the room before she can leave. She hides beneath the bed and Xavier gets a visit from Bianca. She overhears their talk, and it appears that Xavier was concerned that Rowan was planning to harm Wednesday. She also learns of Bianca's plans to humiliate Enid in the upcoming tournament. Wednesday resolves to assist Enid in taking down Bianca. The next day, Wednesday and Enid team up for the competition. Because there are no restrictions, everything is fair game, which Bianca is taking advantage of. Wednesday, on the other hand, has a different vision during the competition. This time, she sees a version of herself who informs her that she is the key. Wednesday goes on, and they use Bianca's dirty tricks against her to win. Following that, Wednesday discovers a clue to the mystery she is attempting to solve. She finds the book Rowan obtained the picture from in a secret library within the school. Sadly, she gets captured before she leaves the room. Later we see Wednesday was captured in a secret room. Her hands are bound behind her back and the bag over her head is removed. People in cloaks surround her, but she notices Bianca and tells her to remove her mask. Everyone removes their masks, and Xavier inquires as to how she learned of their secret area. Rowan's replies were shown to her. The Nightshades appear to have been quietly thriving with the principal's approval. They are now in a dilemma over what to do with Wednesday, who found their secret club. Xavier urges her to sign the promise and join them, but Bianca believes it's a bad idea. Wednesday, on the other hand, is less interested in joining their secret organization. Wednesday unties herself, poses for the photograph, and departs after insulting everyone. Back in her room, she reveals she has no idea how Rowan arose from the dead or who the monster wandering the woods is. The following morning, the principal informs students that they will be asked to conduct volunteer work that day, followed by a community lunch. They will also have a memorial statue dedicated to the town plaza, and they are expected to behave appropriately. Wednesday is assigned to Uriah's Heap, an antique shop. She is also informed by the principal that she has signed her up for a performance. She wants to play her cello and assist the adjacent school band at the event on Wednesday. Wednesday tells Xavier that she still believes Rowan is dead while they are both in town for volunteer work. Xavier is skeptical, but he is eager to answer her questions concerning the picture in the book. He identifies the man in the photograph as Jericho Crackstone, the town's founder. Meanwhile, the sheriff is certain that the recent attacks in the woods are connected to Nevermore. However, the mayor does not share his sentiments and orders him to discover and care for the bear. He tells him that Nevermore is the town's main source of money, so they can't go around blaming them. Wednesday requests that Enid alter their volunteer positions so that she can gain access to Pilgrim World and learn more about Crackstone. The day does not go as planned. The three troublemakers begin tormenting Eugene, but he is saved by Wednesday. Enid and her crush Ajax have a rather terrifying adventure in an antique store. This does not stop Enid from taking her shot and flirting with Ajax, who is as naive as they come. Wednesday asks Eugene to be her scout while she breaks into Crackstone's ancient meeting house. She sees a portrait and recognizes the girl from her prior vision while there. She also knows the book the girl in the portrait is holding. Unfortunately, the meeting house does not have the original book. Later that day, Wednesday pays a visit to Tyler and runs into Xavier, who is volunteering at the cafe. He warns her to avoid Tyler, but Wednesday reminds him that she is free to choose who she associates with. Wednesday inquires Tyler as to the location of the actual residence. Tyler offers to take her and asks her to wait for him, but she declines. At the house, she attempts to touch items in the hopes of having a vision. It doesn't work at first, but just as she's about to leave, she has a vision. She sees the girl again in the vision, and her name is Goody. A party of pilgrims led by Crackstone is persecuting her. He accuses her of witchcraft and of being Lucifer's mistress. Wednesday awakens from her vision and notices the monster nearby. She follows it into the woods and realizes that the creature has the ability to morph into a person. As she is processing this new information, Xavier appears out of nowhere, and she tries to show him the monster's footsteps, but they have been washed away by the rain. Wednesday is also perplexed as to how Xavier got to be present at that specific moment. He informs her that he overheard her talk with Tyler and has come to ensure her safety. Wednesday arrives in town just in time for the band performance, which kicks off the monument unveiling event. During the show, she enlists the assistance of Thing to set fire to the statue. As everyone else flees, she sits calmly in the midst of the turmoil and fiercely plays her cello. The principal is enraged after the ceremony and suspects Wednesday, but he has no evidence. Wednesday says her hands are clean and confronts the principal about her decision to keep the facts hidden. The principal warns her that she cannot risk ruining Nevermore on her watch. She wants to start afresh and make friends with the locals. Wednesday informs her that won't work because the majority of the town still despises them. Later that night, the monster attacks someone else, and the attack is caught on camera by the victim. Enid is looking forward to her first date with Ajax, but he is unable to attend due to a mirror accident. Enid thinks he stood her up and is upset and angry. Then we show various persons concealing secrets, as well as the sheriff developing the film from the crime site. That's all for now. If you want part 2, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.